Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Women's World Cup Squads SWOT Analysis. And today we have a squad which I think Snehashish described beautifully. We often discuss just before coming and recording this video what can be the possible strengths, weaknesses, the numbers, and we do our own research. So while we were doing this research, Snehashi said, "Look, this cannot be a SWOT analysis video." I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, it is only S. It is no SWOT. It's just S analysis video." Well, of course, you have realized the squad that we are talking about is none other than Alyssa Healy's Australian squad. Snehashish, why don't you read out the squad for us?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so first name obviously Alyssa Healy, captain. Then Darcy Brown, Ash Gardner, Kim Gard, Grace Harris, Alana King, Phoebe Litchfield, Tyler McGrath, Sophie Molyneux, Faith Mooney, Ellis Perry, Megan Shute, Annabelle Sutherland, Tyler Vremick, and Georgia Wareham.
Absolutely. Um, Bharat, before I go into the strengths and weaknesses, a name that we are so used to but is missing from there, of course, is Meg Lanning. Bharat.
Yeah, obviously she's now retired from international cricket, but she's still going around in franchise cricket. Her captaincy and leadership skills might be missed to some extent. That is what other teams will hope for. Because whatever I have seen of Alyssa, I know Alyssa Healy that she's a decent captain, but compared to Meg Lanning, I don't think her leadership skills are at that level. Maybe I'm a little bit diplomatic because I don't exactly like her style of captaincy, Alyssa Healy, but compared to Meg Lanning, definitely she's not at that level. So that could be a small weakness. Yeah, she's a great batter. Someone at her peak, she looked like the best batter that I've seen over 3 decades, and she's a great cap. She has been a great captain as well, which you have seen even in franchise cricket. Let it be even when she was captaining Delhi in the WPL. Though they lost, way she cried after losing. That tells you that how much she was involved with that particular team. So yeah, she's been a great servant for Australian cricket, and she would be missed.
Absolutely. Snehashish, coming to you, we'll first discuss the strengths. Obviously, when we talk about Australian cricket and their strength, one thing that comes to your mind is the batting depth and the kind of big hitters that they have got. What do you think? I mean, do you see them by any chance lacking in any field? Or rather, let me put it this way, lacking we will discuss later. What do you think actually works for them as far as their batting is concerned?
I think everyone knows what they need to do. I think the clarity of their roles. I think the openers know that our role is to, give that platform to others batters, giving that big starts, by using those power play overs. And then the middle order batters know if the wickets have fallen, they know, by stitching that partner, then go for the big shots. And at the end, you have, as you mentioned, that the batting depth. Annabelle Sutherland can bat at number 7 and we know how good she can bat. Even in Test cricket, we have seen her batting like for so long hours. So I think that's the quality of Australian cricket, especially women's cricket, and it's beautiful. I will say, it's always inspiring to see them, when they are playing. So I think the depth and everyone is clear what they know, and everyone knows how to hit hard. That's the best thing I love, because if you see Grace Harris, if you see Annabelle Sutherland, Phoebe Litchfield is so touch player. You ask her to play an innings of 50 or 40 balls, she can play. Okay, I will do that. Then you ask Phoebe, we need 50 runs from 25 balls. Okay, I will do that also. So I think so I think that's the strength. That's the main strength of this Australian team, and it's very strange that how they manage every time. So it's beautiful.
Well, I will come to you about Phoebe Litchfield and a very exciting talent. But we have seen her being destructive, as Sneha said. She's destructive at the same time. She's brilliant. I think when she has to play that settle down and go for the longish innings as well. Now she had started as an opener, Bharat, and she'll be playing as a number 5 in the team. What do you think? Why do you think she's at that position? And do you think that's the correct position for her? These are the two. two questions for you.
Yeah, probably it's the correct position for her in the sense that whatever I've seen of her game, she's very good at creating those angles. As I say, the left-handers have that kind of they can create their own angles. They have that little bit of map of the field in their mind. So that's something I think Litchfield has. That is why she's able to play different kind of role. Someone who can kind of play a little bit of an anchor role when needed, and also play shots because she has that kind of a game where she can play differently. She seems to have a map of the field in her brain. Even against New Zealand, I was seeing she was batting at number 5, around number 5 in the recent T20 series they're playing against New Zealand. So I guess it's the correct position for her in that batting order.
Perfect. Now from batting, let's go to another important aspect. I will actually go to bowling later because I know, I think that was the first expectation. But I will talk about two very important aspects, and I'm not going to ask questions to Bharat and Snehashish. I will actually talk about this. The fielding and running between wickets are also Australia's strengths. And when you talk about fielding in yesterday's match against New Zealand, Phoebe Litchfield was mic'd up and she was talking to the commentators. Then came a catch. It was behind her. She had to go 2 steps and jump at the same time. She had to time everything well. And what a beautiful catch she completed. And that was not the first time. These catches happen once or twice maybe. But when you make a habit of this, because Litchfield had taken that one-handed catch in India as well. So some brilliant fielding. You will always see brilliant fielding from Australia. I mean, even Alyssa Healy behind the wickets, down the leg stump, whenever she is standing right up to the stumps, she is brilliant. But also, interestingly, we do criticize her wicket keeping a lot because out of all the Australian all the Australian players, somehow Healy with her high standard also falls a little short, I think. And then, of course, there's, the favorite girl who has now almost become an Indian. The only thing is she plays against us. That's Alice Perry. Brilliant fielder, runs from mid-wicket to square leg. She'll run from long on to long off. She does not walk from one fielding position to another. She runs. That shows her fitness, her eagerness, and also I can't really understand. I will never understand why someone in between a match needs to do that to probably keep herself just interested. Another brilliant fielder. Bharat, fielding, Perry is a X factor, I do think, important factor. But I'll come to you with the spinners. Australia has good spinners who will be handy in the UAE, you think?
Yeah, they have the usual leg break bowlers. Obviously, in Georgia, where is there. There's Helena King as well, who had a very good 50-over World Cup, if I remember correctly. One of the 50-over World Cups, she took 12 or 13 wickets. Sophie is also there. So they have the spinners who can really bowl well. So one more point I wanted to add about Alice Perry. I guess it was the 2010 T20 World Cup. Australia were playing New Zealand in the final. New Zealand needed some 7 or 8 runs in the last over. 8 or 9 runs in the last over to win that tournament. Maybe it was 2010 or 2012, one of those two tournaments. And one of the New Zealand players nudged it towards the onside. There's obviously a single run. Definitely there was a single run. There was no need for Alice Perry to go towards her right and field it. I was thinking, why is this girl going towards her right? But she still was trying to go towards the right, trying to stop that single. Obviously, she couldn't stop that single. But that kind of fielding effort tells something about Alice Perry, that every single time you expect 110% effort from her. And that's what makes Alice Perry the star. Obviously, she's a star, absolutely huge star in women's cricket. But even on the field, our performances are such that you can't do anything but bow your hat towards her for the kind of performances she puts.
Absolutely. Snehashish, look, we can go on and on about Australia's strengths. I can ask you about Grace Harris. Everyone has seen her being a superior quality power hitter. We can go on and on, but we have to obviously look into the cracks as well. There will be very few cracks to talk about, but there is. I think the first thing that you and I were discussing is they are a little, I wouldn't use the word shaky, but because I was hearing Lisa Stalekar on the commentary, and during yesterday's match, when New Zealand actually bowled Australia out for 142, it was quite cheaply because Perry and Healy had stitched a very good partnership, and Australia was in such a good position to get 142 all out from there. Didn't make any sense. But again, I have seen that when Australia bats first, that's not a weakness as such, but somewhere, because they have so much firepower, they're not sure of what should be the total, and they keep pushing themselves. They somehow don't seem to be happy with 160 or 170. They try to get 180, 190, and in the process end up probably 20, 15 short in general. Do you also feel that that's the case? Let me know if you have some stats on that or something.
See, it is happening, but it's very few times, not that many times. Because if you see in the last 2 years, they have played 30 matches and they have won 24. But they have lost only 5 times. One match is tied, and that tied match against India. In India, we know that 2023. So that among those 5 matches that they lost, yesterday was the first time that they defended a total under 150. Okay, so in this last 2 years, they have, while they're batting fast, they have managed to score under 150 only 3 times. Among those, yesterday they won that match, but other 2 instances they lost. But whenever they scored around 170 or 80, they have won. So I think the batting lineup they have and the power hitters they have. I think they always look for that 180, 190 mark. They don't go that, okay, this is the pitch. Okay, let's wait. Check for 4-5 overs. Then we will set a target that this will be good for this wicket. But I think with the power batting depth that we were discussing at the first stage, that batting depth they have and the power hitters they have, they always look for as you mentioned, that 170, 180 marks. So I think it is very important for any team to understand the pitch first of all. I know you have 11 batters, 11 bowlers, everything, but still you have to give some time to that pitch to understand yourself, that what is the minimum runs that you require to defend for your bowlers. So I think that's an area that they could have worked more, but still I think it's a very few. I don't see that this is an area that would cost them in the World Cup. I think it's very tough for any team to beat them in this World Cup. I am saying this right now.
I'll just add a point to it. If you see the schedule, at least a couple of matches they're playing at Sharjah cricket ground. One of them, I guess, is against India only.
Yeah.
And whatever I've seen about Sharjah cricket stadium in the recent past, the tracks are very slow. Yeah, and the dew factor also might come into play in the night games, because in Dubai, whenever I've gone to my sister's place in the past, around September, October, during night time, the dew factor also comes into play. But in the first innings, the pitch will be very slow. It is very difficult to get even 140 in some of those conditions. So it will be interesting how they will adapt their game, especially to Sharjah cricket stadium, when they get to play at that one particular stadium, because they might still struggle if they're batting first, and then for the dew factor to come into play, and that would really be an interesting factor to look at, because if Australia get 130, 140 batting first, and then suddenly dew comes into play, then the match will suddenly the complexion of the game will change completely.
Absolutely, Bharat. Fantastic points. One more discussion. I think this is one player that I always I've been looking out for since her debut. And that's why I would say recent performances of Phoebe Litchfield has kind of left me wanting for more. I will again begin with Bharat and then come to Snehashish on this. Litchfield not consistent enough. Maybe it doesn't matter because of the batting depth. But, one day she plays like the best batter in the world, and the other day she just gets out cheaply, and you're not even sure what's happening. Bharat.
Oh, no, not very sure what is happening inside her mind to tell why exactly she's inconsistent. But as she plays more matches, I guess she will also understand how to adapt to different situations. in a sense, how to become a little more consistent. She has seniors. See, the first thing is if you look at that team, Haley is there, obviously. Perry is still around. Beth Mori now has kind of become a senior, you have to say. And you have to look at other players as well. So Sophie is there, Grace Harris. So they have Magra is there. One of my favorite players, Sahila Megrath, also is there. She's now pretty much a senior. So yeah, she may not be in the best of form, but there are a lot of seniors. So as she plays more matches, you expect a little more consistency from her. But definitely, she is a great talent.
Absolutely. Before I close the show, closing comments from Snehashish first and then Bharat on the Australian squad. Do you think there are any more weaknesses? And also, do you straight up, in your head, are you straight up putting them in the final?
Yes, I'm not only putting up them in the final, I am putting them in that podium also. They are the favorites to win that trophy. They are the only favorites to win the trophy. Everyone knows. That is not a secret to anyone.
No, it cannot be a secret. If we are discussing on the show, then I'm sure it's not a secret. Bharat, Snehashish has not waited for anything. He has just handed the cup over to Australia. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, but see, all the opponent can say is even if they meet Australia in the semis or in the final, it's all about those 40 overs. If you play better than Australia in those 40 overs, then you never know, you might go on to defeat them. That's the only thing that opponent, whoever plays against Australia, can say. But obviously, Australia are the clear favorites. We also have to perhaps add a little bit about their fast bowlers. I always look forward to watching Darcy Brown, and Tyla is also back. Lamnick is also back. Both of them are really pacey. Whenever Darcy Brown bowls, it feels like she makes pace bowling look quite easy. She might have a problem or two against left-handers, but she's great to watch her bowl. She makes it very easy because she's very athletic. Yeah, as far as Australian team is concerned, yeah, definitely they look like clear favorites and will win this World Cup. But I would always add that it's all about comes down to that one day, and on that one particular day, if the opponent plays better, even if it is by single run, even if you win by single run, it is great. Finally, it's a win is a win. So, so on that particular day, we never know. But obviously, Australia are the clear favorites, and if someone takes them down, then they have upset the apple cart.
Absolutely. I think while Bharat was talking about the Pacers, I found out one more small glitch in the Australian team. And it is about Bharat's favorite Pacer, who's, by the way, one of my favorites, I would say, though she needs to play more matches. That's Darcy Brown. She's coming back from injury. But I think the problem with Darcy Brown is she often oversteps. Maybe that can be taken care, in the nets. Oversteps means not personal boundaries. The piece goes for. It was fun talking to Bharat and Snehashish as always, and these dissections will go on, and it will only become better, bigger, deeper once the tournament starts. But we are about 5 teams down now. 5 more to go. Every day when we sit for this SWOT analysis, we try to find out if any team has got a clear edge. If a team that has got a clear edge, that's none other than the team that we just discussed, Australia. They start out as favorites in this World Cup yet again to win it. I think 3rd consecutive time or 4th.
Since West Indies won in 2016, I guess they have been winning. So 2018,
2018, 2022, 2000. So this will be the 4th consecutive time if they win it. For the sake of women's cricket and for the sake of making it a little more interesting, I hope not. But we can't help it. What do you think? What are the strengths and weaknesses of this Australian team? If Bharat, Snehashish and I have missed any points, do let us know in the comment section below. But whether you think Australia has any strength or weakness or not, do keep joining RevSportz, because we will be bringing you more coverage on chess, on Olympic sports, on men's cricket, women's cricket World Cup taking center stage. in another 1 or 2 days. And the two gentlemen with me will be right at the ground in Dubai, bringing in all the action from Dubai. But as of now, join us tomorrow again for another team's SWOT analysis. As of now, take care, good night, like, share, and subscribe.